He never said a word to her the first 3 months of school, but every time she entered the lecture hall, his eyes found her, like it was instinct, like he had been waiting. She didn't even notice at first. Sewa was too focused. Law student, first child, carrying the pressure of her entire family like an invisible backpack. She didn't have time for boys or glances or anything that didn't earn her a distinction. But Folarin noticed her, not because of her looks, although there was something quietly beautiful about her. Not because she was loud or popular. She wasn't. It was how she existed, like the world was always running too fast, and she was the only one trying to slow it down. He liked how she raised her hand during lectures, not because she wanted attention, but because she wanted clarity. He liked how she never laughed too loud, how she walked like she had somewhere important to be. He liked her before she even knew he existed. And then, one day, she did. It was raining, the kind of rain that makes you stop everything and just stand still. The sky cracked open over campus like a warning, and students scattered under corridors and kiosks. Sewa stood quietly under the law faculty's corridor, arms folded, tote bag clutched to her side, shoes soaked through. Her umbrella had snapped earlier that morning, and there he was, just watching her. Folarin didn't move at first. He just stared, not in a creepy way, but like he was studying a painting that had finally come alive. Then he walked up to her, holding his umbrella. "You look like you fought 3 wars today," he said, not smiling too much, just enough to make her raise an eyebrow. She looked at him properly for the first time. Tall, dark skin like burnt honey, soft beard, a quiet confidence that didn't feel loud or threatening. "I'm fine," she said, lying. He looked up at the sky. "Well, if you decide to stop pretending, I have space under my umbrella." He didn't wait for a response. He just turned slightly, giving her a clear path under his umbrella, and waited. And that was how it started. From that day, he became harder to ignore. He never flirted, not in the usual sense. His words were gentle, careful, thoughtful, like he was more interested in understanding her than impressing her. When they studied together in the library, he would bring an extra pen just in case. When she yawned during a late-night group reading, he would pass her a bottle of zobo he knew she liked without saying a word. And when they walked back from class at night, their conversations would meander between family pressures, future dreams, and quiet silence that somehow felt full. She hated how much she started to look forward to him. He never crossed boundaries, but his presence lingered on her mind, in her thoughts, in the way she began checking her phone a little more often, hoping his name would light it up. The chemistry wasn't loud. It was magnetic, potent in the small gestures. He looked at her like she was the answer to a question he didn't know he had been asking. And that was the kind of love that scared her. Because Shewa didn't believe in falling in love. She believed in planning, strategy, safety. But this boy with the soft eyes and quiet heart, he was slowly becoming her favorite risk. And deep down, she knew she wasn't going to win this one. Shewa didn't tell her friends about him. not because she was hiding anything, but because she couldn't explain it yet. What would she say? That she liked the way he walked beside her without making it a big deal? That his voice had a calmness that stayed with her long after he had stopped talking? That when he looked at her, it made her feel like she was seen for the first time? She didn't have the words for it, and Folarin never tried to define what they had. He just showed up every single time. When she forgot her charger and didn't have the courage to ask anyone, she found one waiting on her table in the study group room. When she caught the flu during exam week, it was Folarin who came often to check up on her. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't loud, but it was consistent, safe, steady, and real. And maybe that was what scared her the most, because she had built her life around control. Her grades were excellent, her reputation spotless, her walls very high. But with him, her guard slipped. It happened one night after group study. Everyone else had left. They remained seated on opposite ends of a long wooden bench in the library extension. The moonlight filtered in through the glass windows, bathing the room in silver. Neither of them said anything for a while. He was watching her again, that same look, that look that held questions and answers all at once. She felt it before he even opened his mouth. "I like you, Shewa." Her heart paused. She looked down, eyes fixed on the notebook on the table. The words in it now just blurred lines. "I know," she whispered. Folarin leaned forward, his voice softer now. "I'm not trying to rush you. I just needed you to know." Shewa raised her eyes slowly, their gaze locked in, and in that moment, everything else fell away. Just them, and that unbearable closeness. She didn't move, she didn't speak, but he saw it in her eyes. She liked him too. The next day, nothing changed, and everything changed. They still walked together, they still studied together, they still sat beside each other in class. But now, his fingers brushed hers more intentionally. Now, when she laughed, she let it last longer. Now, when he looked at her, she didn't look away. It was new, fragile, and untouched, but it was growing. One day, during their faculty dinner, he sat beside her as she looked out at the stage. She wore a flowing burgundy gown, her hair swept into an elegant bun. He had never seen her look like that. "I might have to fight someone tonight," he said lightly. She smiled. "Why?" "Because every guy in this room is staring at you, and frankly, I don't blame them." She laughed, but her cheeks flushed. She turned to him. "You don't have to fight. I'm not going anywhere." And Folarin, who had always kept his cool, who had always respected the pace she set, just stared at her like she had just given him the world. They weren't a couple, not yet, but they were something. Something rare, something real. And Shewa, who had never believed in messy love stories, was slowly learning that the best kind of love isn't the one that shouts the loudest. It's the one that stays quietly, steadily, even when the rain comes. Stay tuned for part 2. What do you think will be the next steps for Folarin and Shewa? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.